Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanks President Barack Obama and the United States Congress for what he defined as a historic defense aid package meant to ensure Israel's military qualitative edge in the chaotic Middle East. Islamists resumed firing from the Gaza Strip towards Israel's southern communities as a mortar shell explodes in the Eshkol Regional Council. A Swedish European Parliament member joins a flotilla of international activists which set sail from Barcelona towards the Gaza Strip. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanked President Barack Obama and the United States Congress for what he defined as a historic defense aid package. In a televised statement from Jerusalem, the Israeli leader said he was grateful to the Obama administration for safeguarding Israel's security needs, stressing that it illustrates the friendship between the two nations.
אני מבקש להודות לנשיא אובמה ולממשלו על ההסכם ההיסטורי הזה. אני גם מודה לחברינו הרבים בקונגרס האמריקני וגם לעם האמריקני על תמיכתם הגדולה, תמיכה שחוצה מפלגות וחובקת את אורכה ורוחבה של ארצות הברית. ההסכם הזה ממחיש אמת פשוטה. היחסים בין ישראל לארצות הברית איתנים עוצמתיים. אין זה אומר שאין בינינו מחלוקות מעת לעת, אבל אלו מחלוקות בתוך המשפחה. הן אינן משפיעות כהוא זה על הידידות הגדולה בין ישראל לארצות הברית. ידידות שמתבטאת בהסכם הזה, שיסייע רבות להמשך ביצור כוחה של ישראל בעשור הקרוב.
According to the deal, the United States will provide Israel with some $38 billion in military aid over a decade, the largest such aid package in U.S. history. United States National Security Advisor Susan Rice stressed during the signing ceremony in Washington the significance of the aid package at a time when Washington tightens its belt across the board, asserting it shows the unshakable commitment to Israel's security.
This marks a significant increase over our existing funding, and it will ensure that Israel has the support it needs to defend itself by itself and to preserve its qualitative military edge. This is the single largest pledge of military assistance to any country in U.S. history. At a time when we're tightening our belts across the board, with the harmful sequestration spending cuts set to return in just a couple years, this MOU nonetheless greatly increases our military assistance commitment to Israel. And that's not an accident. It's a reminder of the United States' unshakable commitment to Israel's security.
The agreement was signed at the State Department by U.S. Undersecretary of State Thomas Shannon and by General Yaakov Nagel, acting head of Netanyahu's National Security Council. The deal will allow Israel to upgrade most of its fighter aircrafts, improve its ground forces mobility, and strengthen its missile defense systems in the face of the growing regional threats directed at the Jewish state.
This unprecedented assistance will also cover a robust missile defense funding through the next decade for the first time, and will help us effectively plan and develop multi-layer missile defense systems to counter the growing missile threats in our region. A strong Israel is an island of stability in a stormy Middle East and an important partner in the fight against the forces of terror and extremism in our region and beyond.
The $38 billion Memorandum of Understanding covers U.S. fiscal years of 2019 to 2028 and succeeds the current $30 billion MOU signed in 2007, which expires at the end of fiscal year 2018. Now to southern Israel, where Islamists resumed firing from the Gaza Strip towards Israel's southern communities as a mortar shell exploded in the Eshkol Regional Council. Thankfully, the mortar exploded in an open area, causing no injuries or damage. In response to the attack, the Israel Air Force targeted 3 installations in the northern Gaza Strip belonging to the Hamas organization. Even though defense officials did not believe Hamas was behind the attack, the IDF views the Islamist Hamas, which controls the Palestinian enclave, as solely responsible for any attacks emanating from the Gaza Strip. Also in northern Israel, an incident was reported where a mortar shell that was fired from Syria exploded last night in the northern Golan Heights. The shell exploded in an open area, causing no injuries or damage. The IDF believes the fire was not deliberately aimed at the Jewish state, but was part of the intensive fighting between the Syrian military and the Al-Qaeda-linked Jabhat Fatah al-Sham, formerly known as the Nusra Front. Since last week, at least 11 mortar shells have exploded in Israeli territory, prompting the U.S. State Department to issue a travel alert in which it called on its citizens not to visit the Golan Heights until the situation stabilizes. Now to another matter, a flotilla of international activists set sail from the Spanish city of Barcelona towards the Gaza Strip. The flotilla is composed of 2 small sailing boats carrying 11 women, one of whom is Swedish European Member of Parliament Malin Björk. The flotilla spokesperson said they are carrying food and medicine on board that will be distributed to the residents of the Palestinian Strip, while adding that the primary aim is to carry a message of solidarity and hope. The flotilla's declared aim, however, practically means it would try to break the Israeli blockade on the Hamas-run Palestinian enclave, which has been in place since 2007 when the internationally recognized terror group violently seized control of Gaza. The activists on board said they had high hopes the flotilla would not be stopped by the Israeli Navy and reach its destination, a reality most unlikely. The flotilla is scheduled to stop in Corsica and continue from there to the Gaza Strip. Now, with regard to Israel's northern neighbor, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov agreed to extend a cessation of hostilities in Syria by 48 hours, which both diplomats said was holding, in order to allow for increased humanitarian access.
That Secretary did speak with Foreign Minister Lavrov earlier today. It was, I guess I'd describe it as a signals check, where we stand in terms of the cessation of hostilities and the 7 days that's required before we move to the next stage. And I think there was, there was agreement between the two of them that as a whole, despite sporadic reports of violence, as a whole, the arrangement is holding. And violence is, I'd say, significantly lower in comparison to previous days and weeks. I'm not, and I can also just add that as part of their conversation, they agreed to, discussed and agreed to extend the cessation for another 48 hours.
United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon welcomed the reinstatement of the cessation of hostilities and called on Moscow and Washington to exercise influence over parties in the Syria conflict so that vital humanitarian aid can reach areas in desperate need of aid.
So it's crucially important that the necessary arrangement, security arrangement, should be given so that they can be allowed to cross the lines. I have been urging Russian government to make sure that they exercise influence on Syrian government, and also the American side to make sure that Syrian armed groups, they also fully cooperate. We are working very hard. We are very much committed.
Thank you for watching us. You can also watch us at TV7israelnews.com or TV7.fi. For any comments, please send your emails to israelnews@tv7.fi. For more updates from Israel and the region, please join our Facebook page at TV7 Israel News. Praying for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. Jonathan Essen, Erev Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.
In order to donate to TV7 Israel News, please follow these simple steps. First, press the Donate logo, located at the bottom left side of TV7 Israel News Facebook page, or on the Donate tab at the head of the page. Then insert the amount you'd like to donate, and fill in your credit card information. Just like this. And press Review Donation and continue. After reviewing your donation details, please press Donate to finalize your donation. That's it! Your donation is now complete, and an email with your donation details has been sent to your email address. You can also print your donation receipt by pressing the link here. Thank you for supporting TV7 Israel News.